So I think, as you can see, we've certainly got a character added to the top 10 heavyweight division, so I don't think there's any worries there. But again, I'd just like to say I do share Ian's enthusiasm, but as a promoter and obviously working with his management team, it's important that we have a little bit of reality. So as much as we want Ian to get in with these top names ASAP, we also need to make sure that we guide him for the next 2 to 3 fights, and there is a couple of good fights coming up in the pipeline for him. So watch this space with Ian, because one thing we've already just seen on the conference, it's not going to be a dull moment. So to my right is Ashley and his manager Brian Lawrence, very well respected trainer and manager, some great fighters down the years. So Brian, please introduce yourself and introduce your fighter Ashley.
My name is Brian Lawrence, I'm Ashley's manager, and actually Richard Williams is training Ashley. Richard Williams was the IBL World Champion and Commonwealth Champion, but I used to train Richard, so just going along the same lines, you know. And actually, he's a very good fighter. You know, I mean, he's turned pro a little bit late, but so we're just going to push on with him. And like, we're looking for him to have 5-6 fights, and we're looking for the southern area for him, you know. But yeah, it's going to be exciting. You know, we've got a reasonable test for the first fight, so you know, he's in shape, and it's going to be a good little scrap. And from there, we're going to move on from there. But we're looking like 5-6 fights. We're looking for the southern area. Kick on quick with him. Yeah.
It's good. Yeah, it's a good platform to definitely build from.
Yeah.
Ashley, just want to tell us a little bit about yourself. You know, your style, where you're from. You know, where you've come from, club, everything else. Just go wild with it, mate. Enjoy yourself for the next 5-10 minutes.
I'm Ashley. I started boxing at the Fitzroy Lodge. As Brian said, I came in the game a little bit late, but I won't go into that story. But the main thing is that I'm here now. I always train hard, practically live in the gym, and I got goals in front of me, the first one being Southern Area title, and it all starts off on Saturday. You know, take care of this opponent and then just keep moving on, and that's the plan. Like, I'm not going to say too much, but yeah, just the plan is just to keep on moving, keep beating whoever's put in front of me, and that's it.
Yeah, and I definitely second that. I mean, you know, he's definitely got the potential. We can see that with his amateur pedigree as well. Age is just a number, really. Derek mentioned it earlier. It's how much mileage you've got in the clock. If you're 30 years old and you've had 60 fights, then that's one thing. If you're making your debut at around that age, it's not such a big thing. So, you know, 35, 36 is when people probably maybe start to think about maybe finishing up in the game or tailoring it down a little bit. That gives Ashley minimum 5 to 6 years to achieve his goals, and I believe quite strongly that he can do that. Hopefully I'll be part of that journey. So thanks, Ashley, for coming today, and hopefully we're going to see a lot more of you. To my left, I know he's been waiting patiently, but as I said before, really nice young man. I've got to know him over the past month or so, and with Alec Wilkie, I think he's in fantastic hands. He's down at the Lansbury ABC in East London. Essex boy, come all the way down on his motorbike, so he deserves a bit of respect for that as well. And Richie,
this didn't rain.
Pardon?
This didn't rain.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, Richie, just tell people a little bit about yourself and sort of what you intend to do and what your plans are in the future. And as I said with Ashley, just make yourself at home.
Well, I'm Richie Gray. I box with Alec Wilkie's my coach. There's a few good boys down there, you know, that's why I went with Al. He seems to look after his boys nicely. It can be difficult to find the right team around you, and I think Al helps with that. And having got to know Tommy, I think I get on really well with Tommy, work well with him, you know. Obviously, hopefully everything goes well for me at the weekend. I'll be trying my best. Got a lot of people coming to watch me, so I'll be trying my best, obviously. I don't want to let anyone down, but most important thing to me is making sure everyone has a good night and enjoys themselves. And to be honest, I wouldn't be able to do it without my sponsors that have helped me out. I've had a lot of people really helping me, so I haven't got to work, I've been able to train full time and bits like that. I spent a bit of time with Tommy in like one of the mornings and that, you know, which is nice of him to spend a bit of time outside when he doesn't really have to do things like that, but yeah, so it makes me feel comfortable, you know, feel good about it. So I'm really looking forward to the weekend, you know, get everything get everything going, you know, get the ball rolling.
I took him down Billingsgate Fish Market, so he's part of the family now. So, you know, now he can't let me down. He's signed up for me for the next 20 years. So, yeah, brilliant. So as I said, you know, these guys are putting it all on the line in many ways, you know, on Saturday. And, you know, I'm going to wrap it up in a bit, but I just wanted to say a last thing, and it's important. These guys, you know, they're not on Sky Sports or Box Nation. They're not fighting on pay-per-view fights at the moment. Maybe one day they will, you never know. But I always think, especially with media, and it's good you guys have come down, because it's not all about the big hotels with the big press conferences, because if it was, boxing wouldn't be here. You know, we're talking about things like the big press conferences. It's a bit like all the media turn up at the ambassador's reception, and when the after eights run out, they go home. But they don't go into the kitchen to find the bread and butter. Yeah. And this is the bread and butter. This is where boxing grows and develops. You've seen it, you've got 3 Fitzroy Lodge boys here, and obviously the amateur game is where people learn their craft. But when they make the move from amateur to professional, it's a tough transition. It's a different style of boxing. You know, everything changes. And these guys now, they need a little bit of media support, goes without saying, because we all do. And they also need you guys that are here to ask some questions and find out who they are, what they're doing and what they want to do. So, as I said before, we've got a little bit of time after the press conference to ask some questions. Please feel free. Got man over there, John, who is very, very good with, you know, media and everything else. Please have a chance to have a chat with him, because he's a really good guy to know. And thank you as well to Ringcraft for doing this press conference. Then thank you for my lovely banner. I'm going to be, I can't believe so I'll be taking it home with me, but I definitely want to use it on Saturday. And just to the rest of you, you know, Butterfly Boxing, Dominic's team, and of course Knuckle-up TV who have turned up. Thank you very much, Frank. And to the rest of you, I hope to see you on Saturday, and onwards and upwards.
Do you know what, before you go, I just want to mention something. I'd like to say thanks to everyone for getting behind me and rallying for this year, like i.e. Butterfly Boxing, big IFL, all different media, Knuckle-up TV, RVL, Free Security, all of them, everyone who has actually ever done anything for me. I'd like to mention you all, and you can follow me on Twitter and Facebook, Ian Lewison.
You have to be 18 though to follow him.
Can I also thank Natalie for everything that she's done for me so far. She's a wonderful person, very good friend. My 2 friends here is doing a project, you know, based on South London, but you know, it kind of highlights some of the struggles that we go through, and it just so happened it kind of worked out that I was having a fight at the same time they was doing this project, so it worked out to show everyone what it's like when you're trying to achieve something. You're starting literally from nothing, and who knows where I will end up.
For sure.
You know, I mean, as I said, it's been less than 2 years I've been a professional. I've only had 6 fights, but I've captured the Southern Area title, and I'm looking to move on to bigger and better things. So yeah, I just wanted to thank Natalie and Emmanuel. One teaches one. I just wanted to 100%. Yeah, I just wanted to say that. Thank you very much.
Derek, do you want to thank anyone, or do you want to
I would
mention
say
anyone?
I'm just happy to be a part of this team that I think is in going places. I'm behind. I'm excited about the explosive heavyweights on the scene. Like that. Dominic is, like I said, making waves. People won't record the name of Dominic, so you haven't recorded their name, but they're recording their name. So the whole thing is about this thing here. Everyone want to get what you got, the title, and you want to get what people before you're going to get. So I'm looking forward for an exciting next 18 months.
100%.
Yeah, for sure.
100%.
Guys, want to mention anyone before we wrap it up? Anyone you want to mention in particular?
Yeah, obviously shout out to everyone at the Fitzroy Lodge. Also Double Jab, New Cross, and my one sponsor, Fit for Less.
Yeah, it's important. Yeah.
Okay.
Richie, anyone want to mention? So you have sponsors?
Thank yourself for taking me on the show, Tom.
Thank you.
All my sponsors: Advance FM, CLM Floors, Grey Steel, Bassett and Hair Tattoo, and Value Cars. All of them doing their bit, making it happen for me, and everyone's going to be there at the weekend. Thanks everyone for doing your bit for me.
I think that's it. Oh.
Can I just ask a quick question?
Yep, sure.
For the boxers mainly, what type of message have you guys got for the younger generation right now? Even though all the negative things that's going on in our community, all the communities that you guys are living, have you guys got any special message for them?
Yeah, it's easier to read books.
Listen, despite the current situation that society is in, you know, there's a lot of turmoil going on. Especially in New Cross, there was a murder. Another murder, and unfortunately, it's kind of closer to home because this young man, he was only like, I think 16, 17. And actually, my eldest daughter, she actually used to go to school with him. So when she was telling me about this young man who got murdered, I was thinking like, you know, a nameless face. But when I saw it on the news and everything like that, and obviously you saw literally the back of my house being recorded, I was like, wow, this is really real. You know, there's a lot of temptations to do other things and other alternatives to make money, but ultimately live a clean and healthy life as best as you can. I know myself, if once I tell my story, I tell you, realize how long my story comes. It doesn't just start really from now. It's gone back at least 15 years. You know, I know what the temptations are like. Me and Ian, we come from, we've grown up together. Yeah, we went to one of the hardest schools in the neighborhood, William Penn. You know, literally guys that were excluded from that school, from other schools, were dumped there. And every gang from every borough you can imagine ended up there. I can't tell you how many people is still alive today, but I know many of them have lost their lives through one thing or another. You know, but for me, it's I'm doing what I love, so best thing to do is do what you love and stick to that. That's the best thing I can say.
Positive. Thank you very much.
Anyone else want to add to that? You want to add to that, Ashley? Richie, you want to add to that, mate? Alright guys, well, as I said before, anyone else got any questions? Anyone want to ask a question before we...
what do you think of Anthony Joshua's performance last weekend before last?
I think...
Who's that for?
Anyone?
Ian and then Dominic after.
Alright, basically when the fight was announced, me personally, my opinion on that was Charles Martin basically sold his title to the highest bidder. That's basically what happened. Because the truth of the matter was, he didn't go into the fight and try to fight like a champion, representing himself as a champion and trying to retain his title. He basically auctioned his title off, and he knew that Anthony Joshua would have been the biggest financial fight for himself, which he did. And fair enough, you're in this game to make money, which is what everyone's game plan is in life. At the end of the day, you've got to make money, but the fact of the matter is to have a title handed to you and to just give it up without a fight, I think that's absolutely disgusting. The man didn't try to fight to retain his title. It's absolutely outrageous.
I think Anthony Joshua for Britain is a very, very good ambassador. He's charismatic. He's saying all the right things, doing all the right things, and obviously his journey has been. We pretty much turned pro pretty much the same time, but you know where he's got that next level. You know, he's able to get to where he's got to because he's got a good management team, promotional, everything behind him. Yeah, the fight against Martin was very disappointing for me. You know, Martin is an unknown commodity. We didn't really know much about him. Even if you go on YouTube, there's only like a handful of fights. So it wasn't really my place to say whether he deserved to be in that position. The guy, what I'm aware of, the guy he fought before he became world champion is a guy Ian laid out in 2 rounds. Tom Dallas.
Tom Dallas. That's
so.
It.
I'm saying if you're looking at it from that perspective, Ian is way up there. You know, if that guy Martin can fight Tom Dallas, beat him, and then go and fight for a world title, Ian is right there. So
you heard it from someone else, not just from me. So you see, it's not me being big in. That's a neutral person saying.
It was the right time, right place. He won the title at the right time, at the right place.
There you go.
Yeah,
that's what it was. And 100%. He's got $5 million, so you never need to box again, and no one else wants to see him fight again.
But after that £5 million he got.
$5 million.
But after that performance, it's only right.
Yeah, sorry, £5 million. Yeah, £3 million pounds.
But after that performance, really and truly, he's gonna need to buy himself a big house in the middle of nowhere, though.
That's terrible.
I'll tell you.
That's the worst fight I've seen for about longest time.
I think Audley Harrison would have done better.
Yeah, Audley Harrison. Even now, Audley Harrison would have done better.
Yeah.
But I think as well, just to add to that, you know, that's why I said at the beginning of the press conference, really and truly, these guys are coming in at a timely fashion. You know, they've got everything in front of them, and they just need to get a couple of good wins under their belt. And there's no reason why these guys can't be knocking on the door. There's so many vacancies at the moment for belts and so many eliminators. A couple of good wins for either of these two guys, and they're right in the mix. So I would urge any of you in here now to encourage that. Obviously, I know some of you go into other press conferences and you'll get to work straight away. That's an important part of this press conference, to let you know that we got 2 live heavyweights ready to make a noise in the division. And Anthony Joshua as well, just to add to that, he done great so far in his career, and he's done very well with Matchroom. But the heavyweight champion of the world, it has to be said, is Tyson Fury. He is the #1 at the moment, and until Joshua fights him, he's always going to be, he may be IBF champion, but he needs to get past Fury to make sure that he is the world heavyweight champion. That's important. So thanks again everyone for coming today, and let's have a cup of tea and let's do some questions. And don't forget, Saturday, April 30th, He Who Dares, your call. Don't miss it, it's going to be a great night.
Live and direct.
Thank you.